The Constitution of the United States, the supreme law of the land, does not give us our rights. Rather, it recognizes our inalienable rights. As you can see, it very clearly states a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And yet we consistently see politicians, bureaucrats, and lobbyists pushing to infringe upon those very same rights that are recognized in the Constitution. They use these loopholes to go around the laws, and they'll regulate and tax people into obedience. They will regulate and tax companies into compliance, otherwise they are forced to close their doors. Now, California is looking to eliminate all their gun dealers, and this is a three-stage system. This bill 2459 looks to ban all FFL dealers. Now, this is the little guy. This is the private dealer who has gone through the process to obtain his federal firearms license and can legally sell or transfer firearms while still going through the necessary required background checks through the ATF and the FBI, all of that. So they're looking to shut them down completely. This would leave only like the big store dealers, the brick and mortar stores, gun shops. Now, this proposed bill, 2459, also goes after those big store gun shops. It would require these dealers to video record all areas of their store wherever the firearms are kept, stored, displayed, handled, sold, you name it, as well as the ammunition. In addition to recording everything under video surveillance in their own business, these gun dealers would be required to store that data in a database on site. They would have to come out of pocket thousands of dollars and store this information for 10 years. Now, that is only phase 2 of this, what is being referred to as an Orwellian gun control bill. And that extra expense very well could put many smaller businesses out of business. They would have to close down shop because they could not comply with this bill. And lastly, this proposed bill, 2459, would be the first in the world to mandate a type of insurance that would cover criminal acts of second, third, and fourth parties from using the products purchased, the firearms and ammunition from that store. So if an individual purchased a firearm from this business and later sold that firearm, or it was stolen or used in a crime in any way, that company, that business would be held responsible, and they would have to have insurance to cover this. When we take a look at the Declaration of Independence, they clearly state that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and we are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is very key right here, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute a new government. But we sadly have become so conditioned to this slow tyranny that has been creeping up incrementally for generation after generation that the people, if they even realize that they're being oppressed, they don't care. But if you speak out against the government or some of their actions, you are labeled anti-government, you're labeled an extremist or a domestic terrorist, and you will be persecuted. So it appears that everyone is just wanting to petition nowadays. So here is the petition to oppose this bill, 2459, that's trying to shut down all the gun dealers in California. And as they point out, rightfully so here, and invade the privacy of the gun buyers. We know that the attacks on the Second Amendment are going to continue, and the resistance needs to continue and grow against tyranny. People need to stand up. The men and women out there, there's righteous men and women out there who will stand up, and we need to support them and get any kind of corrupt people out of office. And I know that's pretty much everybody. But you can see right here, Chelsea Clinton has gone out there on the campaign trail supporting her mother for her Democratic presidential candidacy. Now, in this video, there's a link for, she states very clearly that Scalia, now that he's out of the way, that was the Supreme Court justice who died mysteriously very recently at a Bohemian Grove type gathering in Texas. Now that he's out of the way, he was a staunch Second Amendment supporter, it's time for her mother to come after the guns. And that it's time for the Supreme Court to make a definitive ruling on the Second Amendment. And of course, she invokes and references the poor children of Sandy Hook. So continue to stand strong out there, stand your ground, share this information. Till next time, this is Spiro.